Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today we're gonna be doing a makeup tutorial because I was just sitting on my couch and I was like, I haven't filmed a video in a while. I want to do my makeup. I have nowhere to be, but we're just gonna do a tutorial because every month or so, like every 2 or 1 month, I decide I'm gonna change up my makeup routine, and every time I change it, I'm like, this is way better than the last, and I just keep evolving. And the other day I was hanging out with some friends and one of my friends was like, your makeup is so good, like I need to know your tutorial. And so I think right now I'm at my best makeup peak, so I'm gonna show you how to do it. I've also been watching Kai's Mafia-thon 3, basically these, actually I haven't been that tuned in, but today is my first day that I'm like super tuned in. So yeah, so if you hear Kai's snap in the back, I'm sorry. I've done all my skin prep already. I've started a new skincare routine because I want to take care of my skin now. Let's see how long this lasts. But yeah, so you have to keep your skin moisturized before you do it. That's literally the key to the most flawless makeup. Your face has to literally be like wet with products, and right now it's still not even good enough to my liking. Usually I'm a little bit more, you know, I'm still like, you can tell like I'm moisturized and I'm a little sticky, but it's still not enough. So we're gonna use the LA Girl H2O Lock-In Hydrating Setting Spray. The reason that I'm using this one instead of my Make It Last Original, which I actually got this from a friend, the Make It Last Original from Milani, is because this one's like a dewy setting spray. This one's not a matte, but it's more of a natural finish. Dewy is what we want. That's what I want, at least when you start, because like it gives you more moisturized look, it gives you anything. So sometimes if I'm in a rush and I don't do my skincare enough to the point that my face is like hydrated before I start, you could do a quick spray. Okay, now we're doing good. Bless me. The next thing we're gonna do is use primer. I used to not use primer at all, but this is the LA Girl H2O Lock, so the same brand. I got it from CVS once because I needed like a cheap little brand, and I needed some hydrating and dewy setting and primer, and these were the 2 cheapest ones, so I got this. No, I got it from Five Below actually. And yeah, I used to not be a primer lover, or I just didn't think it was necessary until I used it for the first time, and it's most definitely necessary for your makeup to look like flawless. So you just rub that in everywhere, in all the areas that you know you're gonna put makeup. I used to not put primer on my forehead because I used to not put makeup on my forehead. Now I do, and my forehead is probably one of the most creased areas in my makeup, so I make sure I put a nice good layer of primer on my forehead and on my under eyes right here, and this nose area too, and you should literally be sticky like. So next, what you're gonna use is your foundation. So if you use foundation, next up is foundation. I used to not use foundation either until I found this foundation, and I love this one. It's a little bit darker than my skin tone, but it, like, once I do everything, my concealer, my blush, my everything, it looks really good. So I have the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation in the shade 53 Deep Neutral. So what I normally do is put it on my face, and I use a beauty blender. The last time I did my makeup, I put it on my face and I rubbed it in with my hands, but just for the sake of this video, because I'm not by my bathroom, we're gonna just put some on my face and use my beauty blender. But that's how I would normally do it, like just rub it in. I use a beauty blender, or I used to use this e.l.f. brush a lot for this, but I kind of used to crease a little bit with this, and also I kind of like that the beauty blender picks up some of the product because I don't like all that product sitting on my face. It just leaves the right enough for me. I'm not a full coverage foundation type of girly unless it's like professional makeup, like a professional good makeup artist does it, because I don't like how it cakes up. I like a lot of concealer, I like a lot of blush, I like a lot of other makeups, but foundation is not one of it. So I like a light little padding. You see, you can definitely tell I'm wearing or I have something on. There is a difference, but it's not like a bunch on my face, you know. Okay, I think we're good with foundation. Now here's where I change up my routine just a little bit. Just a little bit. So we're gonna do our eyebrows actually. So this is not where I changed it up. We're gonna actually do our eyebrows, and then the next step is where I change it up. The eyebrow thing that I use is from e.l.f. It's the brow laminating gel. I think they have multiple of these. I know they have multiple of these, but this is one I use. It's in the tube. It comes with the like lamination glue, I guess, and then on the top part it comes with a brush side and a comb side. This is dirty as heck, but yeah, I need to clean it. There's so much gunk. So then you do your eyebrows. For my eyebrows, I don't do much. I don't fill them in. I just use this laminating glue. You put it on your eyebrows. The more you put, the more laminated it'll be. I use the brush and I brush them up with the laminating glue. Then you grab the comb and you pull up. And then you use the brush part and you brush. I brush it up. And then I'm gonna push them down. And then I just see if I like it.
Alright, look.
And I adjust to my liking. I feel like people always say I adjust to my liking and then don't explain what their liking is. Like, I'm here watching you because I like what you like. What's your liking? My liking is pulling all my eyebrows hairs up and down. So if there's any sticking out like down here or up here, I just make sure that they're together, if that makes sense. I think my eyes just crossed. Usually I am supposed to do this before I put on foundation because the foundation that gets mixed in with the eyebrow product, but today it's really not that bad. It was a little bit, but we're good. And then we do that to the same thing to the other eyebrow. This is my good eyebrow. This one always comes out good. Way better than the other one. I don't know why. I don't understand the science of it all. It's the same eyebrow and then it comes out better. I don't understand. So now eyebrows are done. That's what they end up looking like. Very laminated, very tea. Now here's the part where I change. So what I like to do, this is definitely running out, but I already bought a new one, so it's okay. But I like to now, before what I would do is get my concealer. I would do my concealer and then I leave it to sit and start doing my eyelashes and all that cool stuff. But because I changed it up a little, here's what I do. I get my LA Girl. Apparently my whole makeup collection is e.l.f. and LA Girl, but whatever. I get my LA Girl Pro Conceal HD in the shade medium beige. And then what I like to do is we put it on, right? I'm trying to use every last drop of this before I open my new one, and I know there's more, so yep. Okay, so I put it on, just a tiny triangle, nothing crazy right now, tiny triangle, right? And I immediately blend, so I don't let it sit. I don't let it sit at all. We just immediately blend. Same way you would blend any other concealer, so just up into the corner and to the side, and you're gonna make sure you're pulling up, so like this, right? And I only do this for my under eyes. Obviously I do concealer everywhere else, but now that we've done that is when we're going to put on the second layer of concealer. This one's gonna sit. And this is why you have to have a super moisturized face. This is the part that creases the most, and I'm putting a double layer of makeup. Your face needs to be moisturized. And this one's just gonna be a little bit like thicker and bigger, so kind of like that. And I feel like the more you let concealer sit, the more pigmented it becomes, the more it becomes like a paste, and you kind of just spread it along your face and blend it into your face. And then we're gonna do our nose now, since this is the one we're letting sit, because I don't want to double conceal my nose anyway. And then we go right here. If this doesn't come out as good as my makeup normally does, it's literally because I can't see. Okay, and then we're gonna let that sit. Now for my eyes, I do a lot, but let me see. Alright, so for my eyes, this is one of the things I've also changed. I really like using this palette that my sisters had for a while. It's called the Revolution Makeup. Sorry, here, let me put it closer. Revolution Makeup Revolution London. The Patricia Bright palette. It's a shadow palette, an eyeshadow palette, and this is what the colors look like. And the two colors that I use is this dark brown up here and then black. Those are the two colors that I use for my eyes. Now, let's show you how it's done. So first, eyelash curler. We're gonna curl our eyelashes. I used to do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and then pulse for 10 seconds, but now I kind of just do it to my liking because I don't be paying attention. And I kind of pull up a little bit, not too much because I don't want my eyelashes to fall off, but I kind of like curl them up here. I know my eye looks really weird right now. Okay, once they're curled, so I used to do like 3 different mascaras, but I've been really liking this mascara that I also got from a friend. I used to have the pink one of the, well, I think I still have it actually. Yeah, I used to use this version a lot. As you can tell, the whole front is rubbed off. This was the, can't even tell, I think this is the curling one because it's pink, but I really start to like this one. So this is the TYSM mascara. It's the false lash effect mascara, and this is what it looks like. So now I've just been using this one because it's my newest one, and yeah, it just looks good. So you just put a layer, make sure your lashes are curled, and make sure you get from the root all the way to the tip of your lashes. And I honestly just keep applying the same mascara until it's the color that I want it to be, and the length and the everything. Actually, sometimes this one kind of gets clumpy. Sometimes I like to use the elf lash and roll because the wand is a lot more spread out, so it gets like the clumpiness when my other one is like too clumpy. It like combs it. And then we're gonna do the same to the other side before we start on our waterline and our bottom lashes. And now here's my different part. So I'm gonna use this palette now. What I like to do is grab a cotton swab. I'm sure there's like a brush for this, but I don't have one, so I think it's easier for me to use a cotton swab, and it's just like kind of more precise for me. Cotton swab, everyone has a cotton swab, and you're gonna get a black eyeshadow. I do have a waterline pencil, but black eyeshadow just stays so much longer and it's so much darker. You're just gonna go like this with the cotton swab, get a little on your cotton swab, and then run that along the waterline. And then if you make any mistakes, you can literally switch it to the other side and clean up. I personally like to make my inner corner super dark, period. And then honestly, I'm not super like a super perfectionist of my eyes because I don't know why. I feel like when your eyes are like a little bit messy and like dark and like smoky eye-ish, it's just so pretty. Like if it's just too perfect, I don't know. And now we're gonna do the same to the other side. I'm gonna get a little bit more black eyeshadow on my this thingamabobber, and we're gonna do the same to the other side. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the next step. The next step is to blend in this concealer. So it's been sitting for a while now. It's not gonna like blend super well if we don't wet it a little bit. And I like to use these little finger puff things, beauty blender puff things, to blend my concealer. We have a brand new one right now. It's dirty because I literally just went like this, but brand new. It's a heart shape, super cute. And we're gonna wet it. I think I'm gonna use the Make It Last Original Natural Finish by Milani setting spray instead of my LA Girl one, because this is really like, it's not dewy, it's not dewy, it's not matte, it's really natural. Like, so I'm gonna put some on my blender, pat that out, and then we're gonna start. If that's not enough, sometimes you just gotta do that. Now we're ready. You pat your life away. Pat, 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 pat. I like to bring it up onto my nose and make like a clear like whoosh line, because right in between here is gonna be my contour. I forgot something. I'm not done with my eyes. So this is another thing that I added. So I steal this brush from my sister. It's a slanted brush. I don't know where from. And we get from this palette the darkest brown that they have in there. They have this brown here, and they also have this brown. I use this brown, but maybe we could use this brown today. Just for my eyes. You get some on there, and you just make eyeliner. You make eyeliner. It honestly doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be in the shape of eyeliner, which is the reason that I love this eyeliner so much more than regular eyeliner, because it doesn't have to be perfect. You just literally have to make a good like basis, kind of like a triangle thing, right? You're gonna get a fluffy brush like this. This is the e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. Where is it? Right there. And you're just gonna like literally like blend it out, right? Blend it out. Just make sure it's still going, you know, upwards. Blend it out, blend it out. You can blend it a little into your eye. You can blend it away from your eye. Again, just a you thing, a preference thing. I just like it to be like super blended out, because it's still brown, so obviously it's seen, but I don't want it to be noticed. Right now, I'm gonna wipe some off right here because I still want it to look like a triangle, and that's looking like a blob. We're gonna wipe a little more off. This side looks perfect to me. And now we can move on to our concealer. So for the concealer, you want to get it and drag it up to your eyeliner and kind of just make a sharp line like that at the bottom of the liner, if that makes sense. Like whoosh. And that's where you're going to continue to blend your concealer to. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, good enough. I can't see, but keep blending and blend until it's all blended out. Blend the nose, blend right there, and blend the chin. Now once you've done that, you get your powder. The powder I use is the One Size powder in the shade Rich Peach. This is the one that I've used for a while, and I love this powder. And genuinely, I'm like not even the type of person to like just buy the same products over again. I like trying new things. This is something that once it's done, I absolutely will be buying again. And I've had this for such a long time, and I still have so much because of this right here. You know what I mean? It just, the O, the slash, and the S is the only place where powder comes out from. So this slash in the middle is like the biggest source of where the powder comes out from, because these are just little holes, you see? So I don't waste that much powder. Usually when you have like something like, that's the most powder I waste, but when you have something like this, where look, so much powder is coming out, you waste so much more. Brand new powder puff. We're gonna grab one of these triangular powder puffs, and then we're gonna use this. And I literally kind of just grab what's in the container because it's never that much, and boom, you just, this one is pretty self-explanatory. You just apply it to where you applied your concealer. I like to put a good amount because that's what makes you look flawless. And then you do the same to the other side. And then you just apply it everywhere else that you put concealer. Sometimes if I feel like I added too much, we'll get the foundation, one of these foundation brushes, and just slightly. Scoop off the excess. Next, we're gonna get another same, you know, fluffy brush. You're gonna get your contour. I use the Makeup by Mario contour stick in the shade Dark. This is literally on its last leg, like it doesn't even go up anymore. This is how much we have left. This is what the logo of this looks like. I don't really use this that often, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna buy it again, but I do really like it. I literally only use this for my nose. I don't use side contour because I don't feel like I have to. And you're just gonna draw on a line of how you want your nose to look, basically. So if you want the bridge to be this tiny, your contour is gonna be this big. You see what I'm saying? We're gonna do the other side. That's what my contour looks like. I hope my camera is focusing because I can't tell. That's what my contour looks like. And then I like to put a little at the top here and a little at the bottom, so I can have a little button nose, even though I already kind of do. But I'm going to use the same exact brush and brush it out, blend it out, and blend it until there's no harsh lines, and it just looks like your nose was built like that. Next, my favoriteest part, we're going to do some blush. So we're going to get our blush brush. This is a brush that I use. It's this fluffy kind of angled brush, but it's like super fluffy. It's literally called angled brush, and I got this from AOA, a website that sells makeup. And recently I've been using a certain blush, but because I've been using that blush a lot, it's not in here. It's actually in my bag, and I really don't want to go get it. So we're gonna go back to my trusty dusty putty brushes. This is not the one that I normally use. I've been using like one of those stick jelly ones that I got from Five Below. It's like a dupe of the milk one, but we're gonna use this right now because I'm not about to go get that. Okay, first we're gonna use the Luminous Putty Blush. I think what I'm gonna try to do like a sunset blush thing, since I don't really do that normally. Get some setting spray. You can either spray it on your brush or you can spray it on your blush. I like to spray it on my blush because it makes it more pigmented. And then you just dab your brush in there. Make sure it gets picked up. And then I'm gonna do like a sunset, sunrise, whatever kind of blush. So we're gonna go with the orange blush at the top here. Okay. Sometimes you gotta get aggressive with it because why is nothing coming out? I like to bring it right above my eyebrow and down like this, and then I bring it right here. I don't like to get that close to my like inner corners because that's where my concealer is. And I used to just put blush everywhere, but then it's like, what's the point of you doing this whole concealer thing if you have blush all over your face? You know what I mean? This brush has a little bit of highlighter in it, so once you've done the orange, if you're doing a sunset blush, you're gonna get like a pinkish, reddish kind of color, I guess. And you're gonna spray that. We're gonna swish that, and you're gonna do that on your cheek part. And just mix it in. Again, make sure you're not getting too high up because then your concealer will be gone. And then pick whichever one you want for your nose. So if you don't really like how much blush you put on, what you can do is get the powder puff that you used and just tap some powder on there. It'll lessen the blush a little, it'll mattify you, period. I usually like my nose to be shiny though, period. And then for my lips, sometimes I will put my jelly blush on, but I don't have that right now, so you can just get some of your blush, the color you're choosing. I'm gonna use the orange one and kind of like to give your lips some color. Then I use this angled tiny brush. I go into my eyeshadow palette. I grabbed the brown. I use eyeshadow for a lot of things that I want to last longer. So like for lip liner and eyeliner, usually those come off first, and eyeshadow just holds them a little better. Line my lips, and then once you've lined your lips, you're gonna get this same blending brush that we've been using this whole time, the fluffy one, and just kind of blend that out. I want my lips to be a little bit more red, so let's see what I have in here that I don't have to go get from my bag. This is a little lip stain, so we're gonna put a little bit of that on. This is by the brand Beauty Trends Pucker Up. It's from Five Below. We're gonna do that. We're gonna leave that for a little, and then we're gonna wipe it off. And then you're gonna get a lip gloss and put a lip gloss on. Why do I have nothing available to me right now? For right now, we're gonna use this lip gloss that I got from Boss Up Cosmetics as a gift. It's a shimmery clear lip gloss. I lost my favorite lip gloss. Is actually my beauty supply store lip gloss, but of course I lost that very sadly. And usually my lips look a lot better because I have a different lip combo, but it's okay. Still cute, right? For my blush, I'm gonna blend it out a little. And then last, we're gonna use both setting sprays. So first, we're gonna go in with the natural finish. We're gonna let that dry. And we're going to go in with the dewy finish next. And we're gonna let that dry. And we're done. Do I look good or what? Did I eat this makeup or what? This is my final makeup look. Let's get a thumbnail. Hold on. I actually went and looked at myself in the mirror, and I did have a little bit of hiccups, but let's take another thumbnail just in case. Okay. Am I the baddest bitch or what? I wish I could see myself right now. I'm gonna go do some TikToks because when I do my makeup, but I'm not going anywhere. TikToks. And y'all should go check them out and like them. I'm actually gonna do them on my secret account. So go find it. Bye.